This is just a terrible story. It's a terrible story because it's happening so fast.
Yep.
This story broke in December. It's been less than 3 months. They have all of these survivors coming forward talking about T.I. and Tiny, but nobody's really saying what made them come forward now.
Right.
Like, why now? Why not at the beginning of the Me Too movement? Then, when the Me Too movement kicked off, all of that stuff with Kandi Burruss and Todd was going on. And they were trying to say that they were running around Atlanta, taking people to their dungeon, drugging them, doing this, which all turned out to be a ploy to tarnish their name, perpetrated by Phaedra, and she used Portia to do it.
Yep.
So my question is, if that was an inside job, because that was an inside job.
Yep.
Kandi and Todd, they were all kinds of stuff, calling her Bill Cosby, calling her all kinds of names. Like, all of that happened because her friend was jealous of her and was jealous that her life was going better, because Kandi's life was going better than Phaedra's at the time. Her marriage was together, her businesses were coming together, her career as a musician just went up even more. People became more aware of her. There were more opportunities. The restaurants, like she talked about it during that reunion, that awful reunion on season 9, when she said, I know you down at City Hall trying to make it hard for me to open up my businesses. I know about your political contacts. It was an inside job. It was her friend that put this dirty rumor on her. So my question is, who was it that got all of these survivors to so quickly be willing to come forward and say all of these terrible, awful things that apparently were happening at the same time when Todd and Kandi was supposedly going to rape and drug Portia, and they was doing this and doing that? Why didn't that story pop up then? If they were out there actually doing it, and Ted and Todd and Kandi were being, falsely accused, like, why didn't this story come out back then? It was at the beginning of Me Too. Like, somebody was working on the inside against them, just like they were doing with Kandi and Todd. I don't want to speak about any of the victims because I'm not advocating for any of them. None of them have come to us and asked us to advocate on their behalf. People have already taken polygraphs. People are already being represented. I don't need to be involved in that. I do believe that people have gone a little too far off the deep end, trying to make Tamika sound like she's this wild, drugging woman just running around pouring stuff in everybody's drink. And once again, I saw Luenell. And when I listen to I listen to Lou. If Lou says something, there's something real to it. And for Luenell to say, I know that they on some freak stuff, everybody knew that they was on some freak stuff, I don't see how they would have to force anybody to do any with them when everybody knew what they was on from jump. That's a very, very, very valid observation. Like, people talking about Bill Cosby, but they don't want to talk about Hugh Hefner. How do you talk about Bill Cosby without talking about Hugh Hefner?
Okay.
Like, it was said by so many of the women. They went to the Playboy Mansion. Bill Cosby didn't own the Playboy Mansion. Hugh Hefner did. They were taking the drugs and having sex with the celebrities as underage girls in Hugh Hefner's home with celebrities like Bill Cosby. So the question is, how do you talk about Bill Cosby but you don't talk about Hugh Hefner as the facilitator, facilitating underage girls and facilitating the environment that had drugs around minors with grown men? Like, how do you leave that out? It wasn't like R. Kelly sending his bodyguard to the school to go get the girls. No, they were going to the Playboy Mansion And the girls and the drugs and the liquor, all of that was provided for them there at the Playboy Mansion. So my question is, if the Harris House is the Playboy Mansion of Atlanta, and all of these women were not underage, these women were grown, did they not know what they was getting themselves into?
I mean, they had to, like Vanilla said. She don't see them enforcing to nobody on them.
So,
you know what I mean?
my
And
question-
y'all knew what type of party it was.
So how did it get from a party to a horror, and nobody talked about it at all in Atlanta? But Todd and Candy get somebody to just drop a lie on them, and it's true until everything is exposed at the season 9 Atlanta Housewife reunion. I also find it interesting that both of these women were in the same group, have been friends for a very long time, and now they're both being accused of the same. They've both been accused of the same thing. Like, this is an inside job. Whether the allegations are true or not, that's all going to be found out, just like it was with Candy and Todd. There were a lot of people that had them written off as some perverts who was trying to do this, and they took it seriously because it came from Phaedra, who was her close friend at one time, very close friend, and also an attorney. So people were relying on her to use her ethics. It's just too close. It's too close of a coincidence. Inside job with them was to make us not think that it's an inside job with the Harrises. I just don't understand how all of that heat could have been on Candy and Todd in Atlanta, where the gossip goes a mile a minute for everybody there. And you're telling me none of these people, they didn't party with some of the same people or bump into to the same, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody knew that they were these monsters. It was a party. It was all a dream until it was a nightmare. And now all of a sudden, in less than 3 months, almost 20 victims are now coming forward, and they're all ready to tell their stories now. Why now? Why did y'all? It looks like somebody had a case ready. Somebody had a case ready. That's what it's starting to look like to me. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, yeah. It looks like somebody had a case ready. Because like you said, why didn't you come out then? But now come out now and come out with some heavy hitters.
Yeah, and everybody's on board instantly. I'll testify. I've never seen survivors come. Like, it usually takes a lot. It's not like this story has been under investigation for the past year, and now people are ready to break their silence. This happened in less than 90 days. T.I.'s album came out. The Libra? Something. It was the Libra. It came out. And then, it just came out. Let's keep it a bean. Everybody was listening to the Busta Rhymes album. Still are. So, the album comes out, and within a month of the album coming out, now there are allegations of sexual assault, sexual harassment, sexual abuse. They pulling guns on people. They drugging people. They beating people up. They holding people hostage. Like, that was fast. And now Hollywood contracts are drying up. Television shows are being on, like, in less than 90 days. They didn't move that fast with R. Kelly, and they definitely didn't move that fast with Bill Cosby. They didn't move that fast with Harvey Weinstein, and they definitely didn't move that fast with Jeffrey Epstein. And if y'all are accusing this couple of doing the same thing, how was y'all able to get these people organized so fast? Like, the kind of stuff they're being accused of, and as powerful as the Harrises are in the Hollywood and entertainment world, how aren't they more afraid? Like, Jen wouldn't show her face when it came to surviving the Pettys. While she was being harassed, being forced to move, being tracked down, all of that stuff. How did they get these women to come out so easy? Nobody does. Yeah, I'm not interested in who's guilty or who's not. I'm not qualified. I'm not a prosecutor. I'm not a polygraph examiner. I don't know any of these women personally. Like, this isn't and nobody's asked us to advocate. So, guilt and innocence, that's not my conversation. My conversation is what made this a story so fast. And they already tried it on a friend of hers.
Right.
It's too much of a coincidence. Just too much. Too much.